imaginary passports and your bags because it's time to become world-trotting explorers right where you are.
Hello. My name is Asher and I'm your host along with my mom, Kristen.
Today, we're visiting our friend Mr. Dino in Nafpaktos, Greece, a seaside town on the Gulf of Corinth, known for its Venetian castle, stunning blue waters, and winding streets full of history and flowers. We'll join him in his family kitchen to learn about Greek food and try some of the dishes he grew up with. Before we get started on our episode, we want to say thank you to Laura and her whole family for your 5-star rating on Apple. They said this is the perfect podcast for long car rides. My 8 and 5-year-old are both thoroughly entertaining and quiet, and it's even educational and enjoyable for me. We love the mother-son dynamic and sound effects.
Thank you, Miss Laura.
Grown-ups, if you haven't done so already, we'd love for you to take a moment and visit our website at culturekidsproductions.org and click on the support tab to see how your family can help us continue our mission. And if you could spare just 1 minute to leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it would mean the world to us. Your support keeps our culture train rolling, making room at the table so that children everywhere can feel welcomed and know they belong.
Thank you so much.
Okay guys, our magical train is around the corner. Before we hop on board, let's learn about Greece, a country full of history, culture, and friendly people.
Greece is in southern Europe and is made up of thousands of islands.
Yep, some people say there are over 6,000 islands, but only about 200 have people living on them. And Greece is not just about islands. It also has mountains. In fact, it's one of the most mountainous countries in Europe. The tallest mountain is Mount Olympus, which the ancient Greeks believed was home to their gods.
And people of Greece are called Greeks, and they speak one of the oldest languages still spoken in the world.
And yes, here's something fun. Greece gets a lot of sunshine, about 250 days of sun every year. That's why the sea around the islands looks so sparkly and so blue.
I hope you have sunblock ready, Culture Kids.
And it looks like our culture train is finally here. Hold on tight, guys, because our next stop is a place with sparkling blue water, ancient castles, and sunny skies. We're going to a town where you can see fishing boats rocking gently in the port and walk up narrow cobblestone streets that wind all the way to a grand Venetian castle. You'll smell fresh bread baking from little family bakeries and hear the laughter of neighbors sharing stories in cozy cafes by the sea. Buckle up now because we're going to...
All aboard!
Greece! Welcome to Nafpaktos, Culture Kids. We just arrived in this sunny seaside town, and everywhere we look feels alive with color. The harbor is shaped like a horseshoe, with little fishing boats bobbing up and down in the bright blue water. Up on the hill, the old Venetian castle watches over the town, its stone walls glowing in the sunshine. I feel like we've transported into a fairy tale.
And down here, the streets are so narrow and twisty. I see cobblestones under our feet. It's bumpy.
That's right, and now we're standing right in front of Mr. Dino's house. The doorway is painted a bright color, and there are pots of herbs and flowers lined up on the steps. Let's knock on the door and see if he's ready.
I shall knock.
Hey, Kristen, Asher, Culture Kids, kalos ήρθατε. Come on in.
Thanks for having us.
Come on this way. Have a seat over here at the kitchen table. We can sit down and have a chat.
This is a very spacious and open kitchen.
Yes, Mr. Dino is very serious about cooking and is very passionate about sharing his Greek culture.
Can you tell us more about what you do?
As you can see here, I have a very spacious and open kitchen. I love to cook. I have a YouTube channel where I make cooking videos.
What kind of food do you cook?
I cook all kinds of food and dishes from around the world, but for very obvious reasons, the Greek dishes are very close to my heart and really bring me back to my childhood.
Is that because your family's from Greece?
Yeah, so my parents were both born in Greece. My mother was born in Kalamata, which is famous for the olives. It's very south of Greece. And my father is from a town called Nafpaktos, which we're in today. And I tend to have a deeper connection to Nafpaktos because I still have family here. So my connection really remains here.
We feel really lucky to be here today in this beautiful seaside town. From where we were standing before, we could see the sparkling blue Gulf of Corinth stretching out in front of us with fishing boats bobbing gently in the harbor. I have never seen blue waters like that before. It is mixed with shades of turquoise and sapphire, sparkling like a sea of jewels.
Yeah, and there was a castle on the hill. It looked like a painting.
Yes, can you tell us more about Nafpaktos?
So here in Nafpaktos, we have two pretty significant kind of landmarks. One is obviously the castle, which is up on the hill, and it overlooks the port. In Greek, port is called limani. So the limani is this kind of closed off area that has two sort of fortress walls. The castle and the port were built as Venetian harbor, like a Venetian stronghold. So there's actually some Venetian influence in Nafpaktos because of that.
Venetian influence? What does that mean?
A long time ago, people from Venice, which is a city in Italy, repaired the castle and built strong stone walls around the harbor in their own style. That's why today, when we look at the castle and the port, we can still see clear Venetian influence layered in the town's long Greek history.
But we have cobblestone streets and beaches and little tavernas or restaurants on the beach where you can sit outside and eat and then go swimming. And all of it overlooks the Corinthian Gulf, which is this body of water that cuts right through mainland Greece.
Yes, it's like stepping into a storybook. You can splash in the clear blue water, then sit at a little cafe on the sand while the castle watches from the hill. It makes you wish you could stay here forever.
It's, especially in the summertime, it's like an unmatched beauty.
And what language did he greet us in before? Was that Greek, the language?
Yeah, so that was Greek. It is the national language of Greece. Because it's such an old language, there are a lot of words that have been taken from it. So you can even find words in the English language, words that doctors use and scientists use. It's really, really cool and very interesting.
Languages like Greek or even Chinese are some of the oldest in the world. Because they've been spoken for thousands of years, many other languages have borrowed words or ideas from them.
Can you give us an example? Like what?
There are many words. One that you would know is school.
School?
Right? So school, the Greek word for school is scholi. And that basically means time used for learning.
Oh.
And so that's where we get the word school. And there's also another one that you would know, which is phone. Phone comes from phoni. Phoni is the word for voice. So when you talk on a phone, you use your voice.
So every time we say words like school or phone, we're really using pieces of Greek language that have been around for thousands of years.
It shows us how people everywhere are more connected than we might think.
There's a little bit of Greek in all of us.
That is a beautiful way to put it. And of course, language isn't the only gift Greece has given us. Their food has also been passed down for generations, a cuisine our whole family loves to enjoy quite often too.
Can you tell us more about that?
Greek cuisine, like many of the world's greatest cuisines, is based in simplicity.
What does simplicity in Greek cooking look like?
Just a few ingredients, really quality ingredients, like very good ingredients. So like, really good olive oil. Greece is famous for their olive oil. There are literally olive trees and olive groves, which are just huge pieces of land of lots of olive trees everywhere.
Hey, that's kind of like Italy. There were olive trees everywhere in Liguria.
And then it's other things, simple fish freshly caught from the sea, or lamb. They eat a lot of lamb in Greece. Vegetables, there's a lot of vegetables and a lot of beans. It really is just simplicity. A few ingredients, good cheese, things like that.
In many cuisines around the world, simplicity means celebrating the ingredients themselves. Instead of using a long list of flavors, they might focus on just a few, and they're really fresh and really good.
That's cool. Yum, 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 yum. My favorite thing to eat from different cultures is snacks. What do you like to snack on, Mr. Dino?
Like really fun and favorite snack that I had as a kid, and it was almost always homemade, was tyropita.
Tyropita? What's that?
Tyropita, which is a sort of Greek cheese pie that has a wrapping of phyllo dough around it, which is like a really, really thin pizza dough. Like you can almost think of it like that way.
Ooh, phyllo dough makes dishes light and crispy. When you bake it, the thin layers puff, giving pies and pastry a flaky, golden crust.
Cool, and it's filled with cheese and it's crispy? Yum.
Yeah, if you want, you can actually help me make it.
All right, but how do you do it?
So it's actually really simple to make. Really, we're just taking a bunch of cheeses, and in this case, in my recipe, I use ricotta cheese, and then we put feta cheese, and then we use some cream cheese, which is kind of my secret ingredient.
That's a lot of cheese.
And eggs. And we mix all of that in a bowl. And then we layer out our phyllo dough sheet by sheet in a pan. And we drizzle a little bit of butter in between. And then when we have like 3 or 4 layers on the bottom, we put the filling in. And then we put like 3 or 4 more layers on top. Then we cut it and we bake it.
And it kind of sounds like lasagna. Layer after layer.
Yeah, it does have layers in it the way lasagna does, especially with the phyllo dough. But in this case, we put all the filling in one layer.
I do notice that Greek food has a lot of feta cheese, which is also one of my favorite cheeses to sprinkle on many dishes.
I've never tried feta cheese before.
Can you tell us more about feta cheese and its significance to Greek foods?
Yeah. Feta cheese is basically like the national cheese of Greece, and they use it in everything and on everything. And most Greeks would not consider it to be feta cheese if it was not produced in Greece. In fact, why don't you try some? I have some right here that was made here in Greece.
Ooh, I can't wait. If you haven't tried feta cheese before, it's soft, but it's still crumbly.
Let me just get it. It's in the fridge. One sec.
And it's also a little salty, tangy, and adds a bright, zippy flavor to your food.
I'll try a small bite. I'm not a huge fan of different kinds of cheeses, but I'll still try it.
Here you go. Here's a piece. Give it a try. Let me know what you think.
Mr. Dino just gave us a small bowl of pieces of white feta cheese. They look like little blocks of snow, soft but crumbly at the edges. I'm picking one up, and it feels firm but delicate, like it might melt the moment I taste it. I also smell a tiny hint of salt and something fresh, almost like the sea breeze. Okay, taking a bite now. Go ahead, Asher. Wow. It's so flavorful, and it's a lot stronger in taste than the ones I had back in America.
I like it. It's salty but tasty. Definitely different from the cheese in my grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh, definitely. Even with cheese, there is so much diversity and so many different kinds to try. Thank you so much, Mr. Dino. Just being here for a few minutes, I can already see there is a world of flavors and textures to discover. Is food a significant part of your family's culture, and what does it mean to you and your family?
For me and my family, and I think probably most Greeks, Greek food and culture are one and the same. Every gathering that we have, every party, every event, from birthdays to everything revolves around food, right? Everything is always, what are we going to be eating? Where are we going to be eating it? And who's going to be there, right? So there's an interesting thing where I think that most culture survives through their food. So when people leave a place that they were born in and they go and live somewhere else, they bring the food with them.
And that is very true. When immigrants bring their food to new places, they're sharing a piece of who they are and where they come from. Every dish adds new flavors and stories to our world, making our lives more colorful and exciting for all of us.
You know, my parents came from Greece to the United States and they didn't speak the language at all. So they left part of bringing your food and culture with you is that comfort of not everything is different, right? The place I live is different, but my culture is still the same.
Yeah, my mom loves making Korean food because she says it reminds her of Korea.
Thank you, Asher. Sometimes tasting something in the same way your mom or dad or whoever in your family made it can transport you back home temporarily. That is the magic of taste.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dino, for having us. I can't wait to try more Greek food with your family.
I do hear our culture train around the corner, which means it's time for our culture kids to head on home. Before they leave, Dino, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, for the grown-ups listening, if you'd like to explore more of these Greek dishes and traditions and the occasional story, you can check out my YouTube channel, Loudmouth Kitchen. I tend to share recipes from my Greek heritage and other cultures as well, with the same fun spirit, accessibility, and a little extra dose of personality. Okay, Kristen and Asher, let's go wash our hands. It's the most important step before we cook because you're going to help me make some tyropita.
Bye, Culture Kids.
Bye, Culture Kids. Kalotaksivi.
And to our Culture Kids families, learning about culture is even more fun when you can taste it. Maybe this week you can visit a Greek bakery or restaurant or try making something simple like tyropita. When we cook or taste foods from another place, remember we bring a little bit of that country story into our own homes. Every new flavor we try helps our minds grow like explorers discovering new horizons and reminds us that there is a big, exciting world waiting for us to learn from. And lastly, always remember, you and your family are valued, welcomed, and celebrated for exactly who you are because every child belongs here at Culture Kids. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Joke time!
Okay, Asher, go for it.
What's a pirate's favorite food?
What?
Barbecue. Get it?
Oh, like barbecue?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really interesting because the joke that I had prepared is a pirate joke too. Okay, here's mine. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
Nope, not R. It's X because X marks the spot of treasure. You think pirates like R's more than treasure?
Oh, I get it. I thought it was R.
Thanks for joining us today. We got trips lined up to learn about spooky animals around the world, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, and so much more coming up on our magical culture train. Reach out to us at any time on Instagram or on our website. We always want to hear from you. And see you next week. Bye-bye.